I have a flash drive here that was in a laptop and it fell and basically broke some of the connections on the board. This belongs to a teacher that teaches special needs kids, and so I want to do my absolute best to get the data and recover it from this flash drive. It looks like the pins are pretty bent on this one, but let's go to the microscope. We're going to chase that fix and see if we can get it going. All right, here's the flash drive. Yep, look at that, man. We got completely severed connections on the data plus, the data minus, and VCC, which is our 5-volt line. Looks like it has maybe an EMMC chip, and let me see if there's anything on the back side that looks cracked or anything. Nothing out of the ordinary. Okay, so I think our first approach to this is we're gonna remove these little pads that are on the bottoms of these legs. We'll scrape some of the solder mask back on right here next to the chip. We're going to do our best to be very careful. And we're going to run some jumpers and hopefully restore these connections and get this flash drive to read. We're going to add some flux here to these pins. Kick on the old fume extractor. I'm going to use my soldering iron here and try to just remove these pads from the bottom of these legs. Maybe it won't work too well. Maybe I should use a different. All right, let's try to get under here. I'm going to try to get rid of that pad. I mean, as long as the pad's out the way, I don't really care. Just want room so we can get access to VCC and power this thing up. Grab some tweezers, and we're going to try to grab it. Alright, come on tweezers, you got this. Got it. Okay, so we got one of the pads. I don't think there's another pad under the 5-volt connection. Probably got shoved under the port or something. Alright, let's try to go under here, and we should be able to get this one out pretty easily. Alright, there we go. Use some alcohol and a toothbrush very gently. Get rid of a lot of that old flux because we're going to scrape with a razor blade right up here to VCC. That's going to be number 1. Alright, that should be more than enough. And right here for our, I think it's data minus or data plus, one of the two. We'll scrape back this one as well. Perfect. Run our brush with some alcohol over it. Alright, we should be in the clear to run some jumpers here. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more flux now. I see a little hair in the flux there. Don't think it's going to matter. I'm going to just try to tin up these points here first. Tin up this point here. Boom, boom. Now we can bring in our super thin jumper wire. Looks like I already have one end of it already tinned up. So we'll go ahead and connect that to VCC first. Boom. My connection came undone there, probably because I was using a little too much heat. Right here, let's heat that up. Basically, just need these wires just a touch. As long as they're making a connection, then it'll work just fine. Wire came undone there. Let's try to get it connected to VCC. I'm going to add a little bit of solder to this guy right here. Boom. That should be sufficient. Go ahead and cut this guy off. Alright, so we got our VCC connected. Tin up one of my lines here. We're going to get in here. We'll connect that one. Alright. While I'm in here, I'm going to just add a little bit of solder to these legs here. That way they'll be really easy and nice to solder to. Alright, we got that connected. This wire is a little bit more difficult to deal with because it does have an enamel coating on it. So let's do our best to cut that off. Boom. Alright, now we can connect our last one here. Now just quickly melt some of the enamel off here so we can connect it to our line. Okay, hopefully that is connected to the pad. I can't really tell if that's connected to the pad or not. Or I'm not talking about the pad, but like the little pad we created. But I can't tell if this is connected. Yeah, it looks like it is connected. Maybe it's not. Is that connected? It's hard to tell. Let's scrape back a little bit of this solder mask. We'll see if we can have a little bit of a more solid connection to this via. We don't really have much space. Oh, it looks like nope, that's just a reflection. I thought this little wire right here was connected. I don't think it is. Okay, yeah, it looks good now. Alright, let's run this wire up and around this little leg here. We should just be able to solder directly to this leg here. And to make this a little bit easier on myself, I am going to add just a slight bit of flux. Try to hold the wire in place. We'll solder in place. Boom, done. Let's take a look at our work. And VCC is a little shoddy, but I think it'll work. And then we got our 2 lines that are connected, and let me double check that they are not touching. They are not touching, so let's go ahead and connect this up to our computer and see if we can get data from it. Alright, so I've got a USB connection here. Let's go ahead and plug it in. Cool, we have a light. And there's something wrong with the drive. Continue without scanning. And so it looks like we got access to customer data. I'm going to go ahead and start making a backup of this drive now. I got the air compressor going in the other room, so it's a little loud. If you like this video, you should subscribe.